All right, here we are, back again. Boys are back, and hey, we're living in the lap of luxury today. We're going to the richest country on earth, officially.
America.
You know where that is?
Home.
Nope.
Here.
America might be the richest overall, but per capita, this place is the richest.
All right.
And we're going to Monaco.
Oh, Monaco.
Yeah, that's why we got the...
So Monaco's I think it's the unofficial yacht capital of the world, but we've been to some rich places. We've been to some places that are pretty well off, but this is a whole nother standard of rich.
What are we talking about?
But, all right, well, let's get into it. So, first off, just on the rundown, this is also the second smallest country in the world.
Damn.
Wow.
So, Vatican City, we still haven't gone there. We'll get there, but that's the smallest. Monaco is the second smallest, so it weighs in at a whopping 2 square kilometers.
Holy shit.
What?
I didn't know it was that small.
That's
Yeah.
fucking nuts, man.
And, I mean, Vatican's even smaller, so...
Well, that makes
Vatican
sense to
like?
me.
That's kind of a joke.
Yeah.
You know? Not a joke, but it's like, oh, we're a country. Okay,
Yeah, there's no citizens in the Vatican.
Sure.
And almost like this place, so, yeah, 2 square kilometers, which is like a square mile, I guess.
Right. Wait,
About...
that's so small?
Yeah. Second smallest population, about 40,000 people.
39 people.
Yeah, 39. And then there's about 50,000 people that work in Monaco, but come in from France or Italy. So there's the other weird thing with this place. There's 2 names for the people. There's Monegasques, which are like people actually from Monaco. And then there's
Monegasque?
Monegasque, I guess, is like if you're actually from the region or like the region, the 2 square kilometers.
That block.
And then they have another term for basically like Monacan citizens, but most of the people, I think the Monegasques make up for maybe like 20% of the people. Most of the people are just rich people from other places.
Right.
The official language, the other thing, it's surrounded by France on the French Riviera, but it's also like 10 miles maybe from Italy. So it's pretty close, but the official language is French. Everybody speaks Italian, but also English too. So it's kind of like if you live there, you know one of the 3 languages. But
Right.
I thought it would be a little more French, I don't know, influenced being surrounded by France. But apparently the people here kind of identify as like Italians who live in France because it's close to Italy. But
I would not have thought that.
we'll get a little bit into that. So we said it's rich. 30% or 33, let's just say a third of the people there are millionaires. So 1/3 of the country is a millionaire. And why we said in the beginning, it's rich. The GDP, like the average person makes 173,000. So I want to say Liechtenstein had the second highest GDP. Episode 2.
Old school.
Throwback.
Check it out. Check it out.
Basically, this place is so small, you can walk from one end to the other in under an hour. Along the coast, the actual amount of coastline they have is like 4 kilometers. So it's got a little bit more, but you could fit the entire country inside Central Park. If you've been to New York City and you've seen Central Park, the whole thing would fit inside.
Man, I did not know it was that small. I really had no idea it was that small.
That's crazy.
I didn't know how. I knew it was a small country, but I didn't really think like that's not even 1 mile, one square mile, right?
It's
like,
crazy because everyone knows Monaco, but you think it's small, like Liechtenstein small, or like some of these other countries that we've been to that it's like it's
Andorra.
small, or, or Bahrain. We're like, oh, it's the size of Austin. Like that's insanely small for a country, but Monaco's super tiny.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's kind of the rundown, but super small, but super rich.
I feel if the CountryBoyz showed up there, we'd be on jet skis. You know, I'd be like, hey, we
that's
can't
wild.
afford a yacht, but we're out here.
Yeah.
Those 1990s jet skis. The wave riders, like those things.
Legit
like,
ones.
Jet skis and like cut off jean shorts. Hey, we're gonna get a Budweiser here. They're like, go to France or Italy. You're not
No,
welcome.
I'm sure they have Budweiser. They have F1 there. I mean, I'm sure it's one of the 90 million sponsors.
Yeah, I think Heineken, I feel like is the Budweiser of Europe. All right, so let's talk about the physical. We said it's on the Mediterranean, surrounded by France, close to Italy, but it's hilly, so you can walk up some hills,
Okay.
go up some mountains. I don't know if they're technically mountains, but yeah, it's basically physically looks nice. You got the Mediterranean, you got the mountains, you got all the other the good weather.
But there are mountains within this 2-kilometer region?
There's hills, but there's mountains from the French side that are kind of overlooking.
Okay.
So they share mountains and hills.
Okay.
Because like they
In
don't
the land.
start
They're like
in the
the
country.
beginning
Yeah.
of the hill, and then once it turns into a mountain, it's
Got it.
France.
Okay.
It's not big enough to have a mountain.
Just taking. Yeah.
Barely big enough to have a large hill.
Yeah. And so the only natural resource this place has is fishing. It's not an industry really, but that's like the only, because it's so small, the only thing they could actually claim as natural resources
Right.
fish.
Right.
But I don't think there's any fishermen coming out of this place like, I'm trying
No,
to
just the rich people fishing
Yeah.
off of their yachts.
What?
exactly.
What are their territorial
Oh.
waters like? I guess Europe. I'll just share it's the Mediterranean.
I don't think
So
they have. I don't
That's
know.
not a thing. Yeah.
So they do have a really close relationship with France, and I think whatever their agreement is, France is kind of like their military, their boundaries. They share the same thing.
If we attack them, like if the country boys attacked Monaco,
Yeah.
theoretically, would that be like a NATO thing? Would they all come back at us?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
Yes.
that.
I think
Really?
because France is their big brother backer.
Sure.
Like if you fucked with Monaco, France would fuck you up.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
they actually do have a incredibly high like ratio of police to people. It's like for every 60 people, there's a police officer.
Damn.
And it's all closed circuit TV, Big Brother. You know, if you're there, you're being watched for sure. Because I mean, if you have a bunch of millionaires,
Sure. Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
you can't just
Security's
let a bunch of dirtbags like us show up and
Hey,
Dude, we had ninja thugs and we showed up like when the country
we're
boys came to
good
that
class.
party. We're middle class.
Oh, we are. But in
poor as fuck
Monaco,
there.
we're fucking
Peasants.
We're peasants.
Yeah.
They're gonna throw us bread.
Taxes are rolling in.
It's good bread.
Yeah. We might be upstanding citizens everywhere else. In Monaco, we're fucking dirtbags.
I don't know that we are.
Well, we got a lot to prove when we get there.
Yeah.
When we try to take it over on our jet skis,
Yeah.
they'll have a real high opinion.
Have you seen Waterworld? Okay, it's we us, but like classier. We'll have suits on.
It's true though, like just how rich and lavish this place is. Even just a regular person, you're like,
Trash.
dude, you can't even compete with some of the stuff here. It's crazy.
Right.
I'm feeling like Aladdin. You know, we're like Aladdin. There.
So
Street rat.
yeah, if you're like, hey, I have like a decent paying job.
I got a
blah, 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 it's
Trans Am
like, all
from
right, street rat.
2002. It's sweet. You're like, fuck off. I like it.
So one of the things though about Monaco, it's where it is now, but they're doing land reclamation where they're basically expanding how big they are,
Like doing Dubai stuff.
Netherlands.
kind of, but on a very small scale. And
But if they add a half kilometer, that's,
that's
quite a bit.
like 20% of the
Yeah,
country.
Right.
So they used to actually have some of the surrounding areas. It was a bigger kind of province or area, but some shit happened. They basically lost it when, I don't know,
When shit happened.
when shit happened.
When said shit happened.
Shit went down.
So they used to be bigger as far as like people who identify as the Monegasques, but it got reduced by quite a bit. So now they're kind of stuck with what they have. Why is it called Monaco? Why are they called Monacans? Or mannequins or Monegasques or whatever. So apparently back in the day in the Greek times, it was a port. Port Hercules is the
Bad fucking ass.
is the bay, like the main bay there is Port Hercules, but
Heracles. You know.
apparently
Artist.
back in the Greek times it was it maybe had like a temple or something there in the specific area that's Monaco, and I guess it somehow derived from single house Monaco. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I'll speak Greek, but if you do, hey, you might recognize it.
Sounds
but-
Greek to me.
Jason knows mono for sure.
But yeah,
I do actually.
that's how the name got derived, was from a Greek origin, apparently back in the day. So, and then before it was Greeks, it was actually the ancient Ligures. But like Ligurian, like if you're from Genoa, it's Liguria is a state in Italy, and it's super close to Italy. So I guess historically, these Ligurians or the ancient Ligures or whoever kind of controlled this area. So the other reason why they identify with Genoa or Liguria in Italy is since like 1200, they've been their lineage for like the kingdom. They have a king or a prince. It goes back to this Grimaldi family who is from Genoa. So basically, these guys, the Grimaldis, a couple rogue Grimaldis, not the whole family, but a couple of them, disguised as monks, they entered the city. This was like 1200 something. They basically entered the city to seek shelter, disguised as monks, did the old Trojan horse trick, and took it over.
Oh, wow.
And then they've been ruling ever since.
Wow.
Nice.
So
Nice. How long ago
Country
was
boys
this?
could take a lesson.
this was
from
like
that, though.
in 1200.
Yeah.
Wow.
So their
over
families have been
country.
in charge for a
So
while.
are they the royal family now?
Yeah, so the guy who's the prince now is a descendant from the Grimaldi family. But yeah, we saw this before too. Kind of reminds me of Mad Mike's horror coup attempt of Seychelles.
Yeah,
Yes.
Mad Mike.
It always goes
Legend.
back to Mad Mike.
I kind of think I'm gonna get a poster or a picture of him. Like,
should.
like I need
Framed.
to like
Like a shrine to Mad
and
Mike.
also, I think it's cool to have stuff no one else has in Austin. Like, oh, you go to somebody, oh, you have a picture of
It's a
Dolly. Oh, you got, whoever.
It's a good conversation piece.
No,
if
it
somebody
is.
comes over,
I think
they're
the
like,
ladies,
oh, is that your
the
grandpa?
ladies, like, if they recognize
Nah,
Mad
man.
Mike, like, you're in.
Dude, if you brought a lady back and she's like, oh, is that Mad Mike horror? Who took that coup attempt on Seychelles?
Panties. Gone.
Your panties are dropping, huh?
Yeah.
The ones in my pocket, the ones I'm wearing, full dropped.
Oh my God, I heard about that guy. I heard he had a coup attempt.
That's fucking sweet. You have his photo.
Yeah, you know that?
Jason would propose one
I
day.
totally, you
There'd
dig
be
Mad
no
Mike?
way. That would never, ever happen.
This place, it's bounced around. So whoever was kind of ruling the area, historically, Monaco was always just part of that territory. It wasn't really its own thing for a while. Yeah, so France, Sardinia, Genoa, bouncing around. But then it eventually gained sovereignty kind of recently. So I think 1911 is when it really became a country.
100 some odd years ago.
But so their prince was Prince Albert.
Prince
And,
Albert McCann.
What?
Better go let him out.
And yes, he does have his dick pierced, and yes, that's where it came name
I
from.
don't think so.
The stuff you learn on here.
You heard it here.
I never
Yeah,
knew.
You
no,
heard it here first on the Country
the first
Boys.
person to get their dick pierced was Prince Albert I from 1911, who created the Constitution. And they have a statue
It just makes me
Of
To
his dick.
of his dick.
of the
No,
piercing.
look, I don't know where the term Prince Albert came from, but it wasn't this guy. So he
Didn't
just
have
created the
anything to do with
Constitution.
This guy. This guy didn't start it. This guy didn't do something weird.
Not that I
Have
saw.
you seen the
He's a
King's
pierced
speech?
dick kind of thing.
Nothing I saw.
That's Prince Albert. They talk about all that, and it kind of really cleared things up for me. With like,
Oh, so that is a real thing.
It's a real dude,
Okay,
yeah,
so different
yeah.
Prince.
So it's a
Albert,
different
okay.
Prince Albert.
but there's probably a popular name, I guess.
Yeah. So let's just say 1911 was kind of when they created the Constitution, made it their own thing. The thing that really got this place booming and big, though, was the casino. So the Monte Carlo casino, which I think if you think of Monaco, you think of the casino. That's kind of one of the big.
Casino Royale.
Do you? I didn't. Oh,
Is that what
yeah, duh.
It's one of the main casinos, but basically they started this casino
Some stupid
early
shit I say.
because they knew that people were going to be into it, and since they were kind of their own sovereign territory, they could get away with it where most of the places in Europe couldn't. So they started this casino.
Okay.
The casino got so, I guess, popular and brought in so much revenue that they were like, well, we don't have to tax any of our citizens here. And so from this casino making so much money, then they're like, oh, well, you don't have taxes here. So then all these rich people were like, well, I'm going to move there because it's its own country and I don't have to pay taxes. So that's kind of the casino is basically the catalyst for it becoming a tax haven.
Tax haven.
Because and even still to this day, the casino brings in so much money. Everyone,
There's still no taxes.
there's still no taxes. There's a few other things you have to do to live there, but if you're a citizen in the country, you can't gamble at the casino.
Oh, that's fine. I'll become.
So
a
that's kind of
Monacan.
the
Yeah.
technicality is.
I'll be a Monacan and just live off the government there, man.
So let's just say the casino was like early 1900s, late 1800s when it started, which kind of like set Monaco, or at least set it on the path. What kind of made it where it is now with the yachting and the luxury and all that was Rainier the third. He married an American actress, Grace Kelly, in the
Grace Kelly.
like 1950s.
Okay.
And because kind of her like stardom, I don't know. I don't know exactly who she is or
Yeah, I don't know.
what she was in, but
Name sounds familiar.
some old ass actress.
They clearly know who she is. Ooh, Grace Kelly.
By the prince at the time marrying her, it was kind of like, oh, a prince with a famous American actress, and it kind of gave this
This whole like facade or whatever.
facade
like,
of the place. It
idea,
was like,
yeah.
oh, this is where the like glamorous people have to go.
And it's
So
like royalty, I don't know. It's like
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
storybook shit, really.
Yeah, exactly.
Sure.
So in the 1950s or whenever this was, that kind of marriage put Monaco on the map as far as like, oh, you don't have to pay taxes, and oh, they have this luxury casino, and oh, there's a prince, and
We should try to marry off all the country boys. Jeff's married, but all the country boys marry them off to like rich people.
Matt's already on it, dude.
that's kind of the point of the show is we're waiting for somebody to.
Jeff's trying to whore us all out of these countries.
Into positions.
You go to Lake
positions of
you go to
power.
Monaco,
I'm rooting for Andorra. I feel
and
like
then
I'd be
once
good
we have
for
enough
that.
countries, we can create our own Country Boy Island. We've talked about this plenty of times.
And it's like Risk. We get the continent bonus. Once we get enough.
We just need a couple seats in power, just some seats here and
Like the
there.
Rothschilds, you get them slowly.
There's a new Prince Albert, I guess the second or third. But he's a prince now. Everyone loves him. Apparently he's a cool dude, so
And
I
he's
like cool
married to
Yeah.
Jamie Lee Presley.
he's married to I think it's like a South African either actress or model.
Okay.
But yeah, that's one
Gotta
thing.
marry somebody famous.
We got
Yeah.
he's half American, so look. We
We're
got
in there by association.
we
We're
got one in there,
Oh,
dude.
so that's Grace Kelly's.
Monacan.
That's Grace
son.
Kelly's son.
Ah, okay.
Okay.
Yep. We got some American royalty in there.
Hell
Powerful
yeah.
genes.
All right, so culturally, we talked about the casino. We talked about Monte Carlo, maybe the most famous casino.
It's called the Monte Carlo. And that's
The
where
Monte Carlo
the car
Casino,
came from.
yeah.
Is the car the Chevrolet Monte Carlo? Is that
Yeah, it's from there.
They-
You can actually win it in the casino,
at any time?
and then they just smash it with a hammer and laugh at you. But yeah, so this casino, it's crazy too. Like every video I saw there, I mean, there's just insane cars outside of it. Like if you walk up to this casino, you're just looking at a car collection just from people going there.
Yeah, right.
But one of the things Monte Carlo Casino is known for, and everyone always like everything I was looking up is Monte Carlo Casino, James Bond, 007,
Shaking nuts too.
Spies.
Sexy.
But I guess 3 James Bond movies were either filmed here or take place here, and I guess the whole kind of vibe of the place is like, if you're gonna gamble with a rich billionaire and you're an undercover spy who's pretending to be one, that's
Monaco
place.
is the place to do
So-
it.
That's the
Oh,
place.
So
Like
that's
tux.
our in.
Yeah.
We don't go in as monks. We go in as
As
fake
spies.
ass rich
Yeah.
Fake rich people,
billionaires
yeah.
who are spies who are also faking being spies.
Good luck buying in, buddy.
I think they'll spot that Men's Warehouse tux from a mile away.
No, we'll all fly to Thailand to get some fucking nice
I'm
shit.
all house
made.
formal wear. I'm just renting.
But it got me thinking about James Bond movies. Were you guys ever James Bond fans?
Some of it.
Pierce Brosnan. That's when I got
Golden,
it.
you're a
Oh, yeah,
golden
it was
eye
all
guy.
right.
You're a golden eye,
it was
dude.
all right.
Yeah.
Did you ever watch the old ones though?
Yeah, certainly, but
I feel like I've seen a lot of James Bond movies, but they all kind of blend together.
right.
Where it's like, I know I've seen him, and even as a kid, it'd be like, oh, James Bond, but I was never that into it where I could be like, oh, this James Bond, this happened. You're just kind of like,
That's,
oh, he does a bunch of
Yeah.
lavish shit and then kills the bad guy in the end. Like they're all basically the
Cool
same
vehicle
story.
and hot girl,
Hot girl,
Yeah.
but a
some
different girl.
explosions, and you got a James Bond movie.
Some like he escapes from some fucking how
And the only reason why
Gadgets.
gadgets.
I guess GoldenEye because it came out at the time, but the video game
Sure.
obviously
yeah.
changed that.
Push it to
but,
superstardom.
Right.
but
Well,
even the newer James Bonds, like I've seen all the newest ones with Daniel Craig and whatever, and I'm like, dude, it all just seems like one movie.
I don't know the difference
Yeah.
of any of them. I could
Same.
watch 3 of them and think it was the same one.
Who's the best? James
That's what I was gonna
Bond?
say,
I'm
so-
sorry. I'm sorry.
correct.
No, who is the best
I'm
James
sorry,
Bond?
I didn't know
I
that
think that Daniel Craig.
Yeah. Well, and
You're
it's
so
also
new
akin to
school.
the better,
I don't know,
better
man.
storyline, more nuance to their stories. I know that you say they blend together; they're a little bit better than what I think the older James
James
Bonds
Bond.
used
James
to
Bonds.
be. Yeah,
Sean Connery,
I would say
man.
so.
Yeah.
Sean Connery was good, and I feel like
was great,
Moonraker.
too.
Moonraker's the one of the old ones that kind of stands out.
I was gonna say if you took all the James Bonds, Sean Connery, Timothy Dalton, Daniel Craig, Pierce Brosnan, and if there was one more,
There's one more.
Oh yeah.
I forgot his name.
you-
So wait, I actually have him here. So it's Sean Connery was the first.
Sure.
George Lazenby.
How many was he in?
I don't know.
I think he was only in
Don't
2.
know.
I thought that was Timothy Dalton was
know.
only in 2.
He was only in 1 or 2. George Lazenby. Roger Moore was
Roger Moore was in a bunch.
was in a lot.
Yeah, he was the main one after Sean Connery. Kind of
And
was the other
then
one.
it was Timothy Dalton. I think was in 2. Pierce Brosnan
in late
and Daniel
70s
Craig.
and 80s, and then
Yeah.
Pierce Brosnan.
I think it's
Oh,
between Moore and Connery.
But my question is, like, in a real fight,
A
who would
real
win?
fist
like
fight.
a real fight of like one of these dudes is.
I mean, I
leaving.
feel like Daniel Craig.
Sean Connery.
I'm feeling Sean Connery.
I'm feeling Sean Connery.
Sean Connery is
Connery.
fucking some people up.
Connery
man.
is-
I feel like
Fucking
it'd come down to
up.
Connery and Craig, but
Connery and Craig.
Craig is actually jacked. I feel like Sean Connery is like
No,
the
he's-
old.
I feel like, yeah, but like
Connery
in
back
their,
then,
in
man.
their,
Back then he was
in their
old.
primes, in their
Yeah, I
respective
know, but-
primes, Sean Connery training using today's methods and supplements.
Yeah.
Well,
So now you're moving over to the times.
I'm sorry, I don't know. It just seems like I would want to be Sean Connery more than Daniel Craig in real life. Like if you asked me, like, who would you want to
yeah,
be?
I think Sean Connery was cooler.
Probably cooler.
Cooler, yeah.
Daniel Craig isn't that cool. He's just.
No.
I mean, but he's definitely more jacked, and I think would win in a fight.
But Sean Connery is Irish playing a British spy, which
He's
is fucking
Scottish.
awesome.
Well,
Scottish, I'm sorry.
yeah.
I think they were all.
Get it right.
God.
I think there was only one actually English. They were all from other places.
Roger Moore was English.
I think
feel-
Roger Moore was Northern Irish.
Pierce
Oh,
Brosnan
really?
is definitely
I don't know.
from England. Let's
Brosnan, yeah.
Brosnan, no,
Brosnan.
Pierce Brosnan's Irish.
What?
everything's a fucking lie.
Is Craig the only English one?
Damn.
Maybe.
No, he's Australian.
No.
I feel like
No
I feel
way.
like we
Get
need
the
to
fuck
check
out
that.
of there. There's never been like an English James Bond. They've all been
Bro,
Been lied to.
No,
all the time,
I-
honest,
fuck, man.
check
Most-
this man. We don't ever check him.
We never check his back.
No, and this wasn't even
Fact
something
check.
I looked up. This is just something I have in the back of my
Have in
head.
his brain.
Right.
There was maybe 1 or 2 that were actually English,
gotta check
but they were all
the
Welsh, Scottish.
Stop my water.
Hey,
Hey,
I mean, you may be right. I mean, it's all UK.
you may be.
it's all
crazy.
UK, but they're not English.
They're all different,
Does that matter to the 00 unit?
Yes.
Or whatever you want to call it. Does it?
It does matter because all those other places aren't as classy. If you're like, oh, I'm from London.
No,
like,
I meant.
if you're some fucking hillbilly from
London.
Scotland,
All right.
No, or Wales, and you're like, you're acting like.
What I'm asking
Fact
is
check.
in the
Okay.
universe where what is it? What's their unit called? The 00 agents. What are they?
Shield, no.
MI5.
Or MI.
No, that's
Yeah, it is. It's MI
That's
something.
Mission Impossible.
No, it's
No,
MI.
Mission
It's
Impossible. No, man. It's MI5. It's like their CIA.
Is
or
that what
their,
it
like,
is? Okay.
yeah.
So
It's
does
not
that
Mission Impossible
matter
5.
that you are from the UK or do you have to
No.
be from England to be?
You get
it
different
doesn't. But if you're James
clearances.
Bond,
So fact check on that. Roger
asking.
Moore was born in London.
Ooh.
but what's his nationality?
Okay.
So then maybe he was
English.
maybe
He's
he was the
English.
only. Maybe he was the only one.
British.
Okay.
So then I'm still right. I said there was 1 or 2.
Okay.
Sure.
But
sure.
we said Roger Moore. You said he was Irish.
No, I said Pierce Brosnan.
Pierce
was
Brosnan.
Irish.
He did.
And I know
Yeah.
Pierce Brosnan's
Yeah.
Irish.
He did. All these things new to me.
All right. We'll keep
And
it
everybody
the
else
same.
is from somewhere else.
That's the
not
only one I've
England.
looked up so far. Let's see. Who
George Lazenby. I don't know.
Sounds like some shit.
Doesn't sound.
Lazenby.
Yeah.
I don't know. That could be from anywhere.
Timothy Dalton. Yeah, I don't know. But
Timothy Dalton sounds like he was my neighbor last year.
Oh yeah. He lived in my apartment complex.
Kind of sounds like a serial killer name.
We
to be
partied
honest
2
with you.
times. Never saw him again.
I still think though that if it was in a fight, we can agree it's Daniel Craig versus Sean
I
Connery.
mean, I agree with that.
Yeah, I agree
Yeah.
with that.
Yeah.
As far as like
we agree with
the
that.
tournament of fighting.
Yep.
Bloodsport, Daniel Craig's taking it.
Bloodsport of James Bonds.
Yeah.
The final 2.
As far as like who you think is James Bond though, like the most spy, not necessarily the most badass or the coolest, but I feel like Pierce Brosnan. And maybe I'm biased because like
When
Goldeneye
we,
came
our
out
age,
when I
of
was
when we came up.
were
Yeah,
younger.
I can.
Yeah, I would.
But I feel like
would say the
Pierce
same.
Brosnan's the most like James Bond for me.
Sure. Yeah, it checks a lot of James
Well,
Bond boxes.
yeah, because we grew up with it. And I
Yeah.
think that was the first Bond that a lot of us were exposed to.
Yeah.
Or like versus just like my parents were watching a James Bond movie and I was kind of like, oh, kind of cool.
Yeah.
Octopussy. You know, it's like kind of, whoa.
You just wanted to
octopussy.
say pussy.
Yeah, well, no, I didn't know. I was like, what? Like, you know, you're a young kid. You don't know what you're going to see in octopussy. You know?
8 pussies.
Yeah, or like 8 on 1. Or 8, I don't know. Like,
I'm gonna see 8 vaginas.
Gotta get ready for Octopus. We have to settle the score then. Daniel Craig, Sean Connery in a cage match. How are we voting?
I mean, it's got to be. Daniel Craig is going to take that.
I'm going
in their
Daniel
primes.
100%.
I know, yeah. We know in their prime.
Okay. So I'll make that clear again. I don't know. It's not like saying it again.
Well, wait. Sean Connery and You're the Man Now, Dog versus Daniel Craig. Now.
I feel like Craig is only jacked for visuals, and I don't think he can actually throw down.
They're just-
Have you
they're-
seen him dance? Like he's like ballet kind of. He's
Hey,
he's a
they're just-
prancer.
they're
They're just
He's
for
a
show
prancer.
muscles. They're just for show
They're for
muscles. Sean Connery,
Sean
he worked
Connery
hard
doesn't
with
need
that
the muscles.
shit.
He's just a badass when we go up to him.
yeah.
And
He's
deck
like
him
one
in
of
face.
the like strongest men competition where
He's low
secretly
key.
jacked.
Yeah, it's good genes.
I'm still going Daniel Craig. He
can-
can
we
do
can-
those ballet
Tiebreaker.
We can
moves
agree to
and-
disagree.
No,
I'm going
no,
Sean Connery. I
you're
already
going Sean
said
Connery. We got three
So
I'm
it's
going
Connerys.
Sean
three
Connery.
Connerys.
Three Connerys. 3 Connerys, 2
We are the
Craigs.
3 Connerys.
Yeah, bring it on.
Well, I guess that settles it then. So
Yeah, totally
Sean
does.
Connery is the
Country Board
most
Court
badass.
is dismissed.
The side table doesn't know that they don't really have a vote, so
we have a half vote to your like Class A share.
Shit, so it's like 1.5 to 2.
Yeah,
It's like the citizens of Monaco.
it's kind of like you guys.
Some
are-
real
No.
class
Well-
bullshit.
We'll give it to Sean Connery. So
Okay.
congrats, Sean Connery, if you're watching. You're the elected fighter.
And if you want to come on the show, by all means, hit us up.
Please do.
Yeah.
He's died. You fuck. He's dead.
All
Bring
right,
Catherine
so
Zeta-Jones.
Yeah, for real.
I meant from the grave.
Sorry.
He was like. I'm sorry. We'll have a zombie fucking Sean Connery. We're not
Holograms,
scared.
man, holograms.
zombie Sean Connery would definitely,
He would.
if that's an option.
He would lead all their zombies.
He's still alive, right?
no.
No, he's dead. That's what
dead.
we're
Oh,
just-
yeah,
He
is?
died
Okay.
somewhat recently.
I didn't
That
know
was
for sure.
somewhat recent.
We just apologized for our faux pas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well. Oh well. Other cultural things. We already talked about the palace. If you're here, you can go see. There's like a changing of the guard. So they do have an actual palace where the Prince Albert lives, and so other thing culturally, if you wanted to live in this place, we talked about how it's a haven for millionaires. 30% of the country's an actual millionaire. Let's just say you wanted to move here. You wanted to become a Monegasque or a Mohican or whatever.
Riding up on a jet ski and taking that shit over.
Yeah, so you can sneak your way in. And look, these types of rich people, they might respect you. They might be like,
I think they would.
good job. You did it. But if you want to do it the legal way, you got to first pay a $500,000 deposit.
Holy
With-
shnikes.
How much?
$500,000.
Damn,
There's a
Gina.
bunch of those. You'd be surprised.
So you put in you have to show that you have at least $500,000 in a bank from Monaco. So that's the step one. Got that covered.
CountryBoyz
Bingo,
check.
bango.
Yeah.
That's like, okay, we'll look at your application.
Yeah.
Right.
I just need.
No, that is the application fee.
Yeah.
They deduct that.
That's the fee. Next, you have to own property in Monaco, which is the most expensive property
I was
I
gonna
think.
say, how the heck do you own that? It's gonna be like a
Yeah, they got.
So-
I got.
Let's take a guess
sell you a
for a
500
square
square
foot.
feet.
I sell you a brick on the road down the street.
For a square foot
landowner.
of property, let's take a guess. What do you think a square foot of
Square foot.
apartment space would be in Monaco?
500,000.
500,000 for a square foot?
Yeah.
That sounds like a lot.
Yeah, but it's Monaco, man. That sounds like.
I'm gonna say
I'm
10
going
grand.
big.
10 grand?
10 grand.
I'm gonna say $1, Bob.
All right, $1.
Price is right.
Price is wrong.
69,000.
69,000.
Shane was the closest, 5,000 on average per square foot.
Ah, man.
Damn, I was
Yeah,
way.
we went
But he
over, so
went
Jason
over
wins.
bid, but didn't they go over?
So
Didn't they
Jason
go
wins
over?
Price is wrong,
Them's not the
bitch.
rules, man. Price is wrong, Jason.
They weren't really established. To be perfectly honest.
I guess you're both right in the middle. So,
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Teamwork.
so yeah, that's like on average is 5,000 per square
One
foot.
square acre.
The most expensive apartment there is
Foot.
penthouse for 350 million.
Oh my gosh.
An average penthouse there is
350?
that's like the prime.
I mean, that sounds
property.
like New York.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, but
like-
everything here is almost like double or triple what New York is.
Right.
Rent just for like a pretty good place is about 10,000 a month
Jeez.
for like a 900 square foot apartment. For a
That's affordable.
studio, like 450 square foot, about 5,000 a month.
I could do that.
Yeah, I can.
If you and I room together.
No. My base salary in Austin, dude, work remote out there. Like
Oh,
that's,
yeah.
Not a thing.
You just need to cover the $500,000 bank deposit.
that's
Yeah.
cool. I got that.
But just comparatively, so it's 61% more expensive than Dubai. But surprisingly, it's actually less than Singapore, which I guess is
What?
the most expensive place if you're buying.
Really?
And this is like if you're buying
Singapore's
property,
supposed to be
renting, you have a little more leeway, but still 10,000 a month for renting.
So cost of living is way more. We're talking about like $40 for a carton of eggs.
For actual
Eggs are
like
cheap, actually.
like groceries and going out, like
Yeah.
if you're going out to a nice restaurant, it's gonna be crazy. But they still have like McDonald's. Like I think if you're at a grocery store there, probably a little bit more. But
Yeah, but if you get caught dead in McDonald's, you're fucking
How many grocery
in
stores
Monaco,
are there in Monaco?
socially.
Why would they put a McDonald's in there?
they have them there. But like
to weed out the fucking.
Bitch, all rich people eat McDonald's all the time.
They're trashes too.
You'd be surprised how many Land Rovers I see pull through that Wendy's over there down the street. It's like, don't you guys got better things to do?
That's in America,
it's-
man.
it's gonna be a little bit more inflated. Like it's still not crazy though. Because it is surrounded by France, and they still have restaurants and stuff. Where it's
Right.
it's more expensive, but not like you're not paying like $200 for a cheeseburger or something outrageous.
Yeah.
It's within reason. So
$19, but
I'm good with that.
yeah, I think it said like average meal, like for lunch, like €20, which is expensive,
But no tip.
Not bad.
not as much as you'd think. But everything else, like utilities, rent, all that, yeah, you're paying insane amounts.
right.
All right, so food and drink. So if you're at this place, a lot of the food, I guess it's, I don't know, close to French or Italian food. One of their main dish is Barbara Juan, which is like a fried pastry, kind of almost like a ravioli, but fried, stuffed with spinach, ricotta, Swiss chard, sometimes pumpkin.
So did you bring that
Sounds
BRD or what?
tasty.
Yep. They have a bunch of like, I don't know, gnocchi. I'm sure you can get pesto here. It's
Is that
kind
how
of
you
close
say it?
to
It's not gnocchi?
gnocchi's the. I say gnocchi is that's like the American way of saying it, but
Oh, okay.
gnocchi's the Italian way.
Okay.
So you said it was called Barbajoan?
Barbara Juan, yeah,
Okay.
Joanna Man.
Or Barbara.
It's a good movie.
yeah. I saw Barbara Juan and Barbara Juan spelled
I mean, it's the
both
same.
differently,
Yeah.
but
Kind of looks like a baklava. Kinda.
yeah, like a savory baklava. The other
More
thing
of a
was
sweet baklava.
Soka, which was like a chickpea flatbread. But I think if you're in Monaco, you're not there for the local stuff. You're getting like
I'm sure you're eating
gold-plated
French, Italian, yeah.
risotto and like
Yeah.
I'm
lobster
sure it's hard
tails
if you're 2 square kilometers.
Yeah.
To have like any kind of cultural food that's not Italian or French. To
Right.
be that close to those two
Oh, yeah.
places
Yeah.
and not have
They have this thing, but if you're there, you're eating at like a 5-star steak
Yeah.
restaurant, or you're getting lobster tail.
Or McDonald's.
or you're going
Or
to
you're
McDonald's.
trashing it.
Let me get the barbacoa on the dollar menu.
Yeah.
2 for 1.
You have those
That's
barbecues.
the international
It's
McDonald's
like the
menu.
two,
they got
like the two
over there.
tacos.
2
Jack in
deep
the
fried
Box,
tacos for
Get
2
2
euros.
barbacoas.
And then for drink, I guess they have some, I don't know, like their own like canned seltzer kind of things. But
Sweet.
I feel like if you're there, you're going to drink some
Monaco's got their own champagne.
Whoa.
champagne. Which this is an actual champagne. Sorry, Shane. But
Do we
hey,
run
I'm not
a race?
offended.
figure we'd
Bust out the solo cups.
That's toast.
Did we run a race?
we'd have
We
a
gotta
little,
spray it all in each other.
Yeah, we'll just
Yeah.
spray it all over the equipment here.
This ain't worth shit.
Episode's
We're
over.
rich, dude. We live
All
in
to the table.
Monaco.
Fuck you guys, don't come back.
Take one, pass it down.
And that's how the Country Boys broke up.
But yeah, this is
Red Solo Cup.
This flag.
if you're in Monaco, you're probably drinking a lot of champagne or
Okay,
sparkling
okay.
wine.
Probably.
How much?
So
And if you're winning races like we always are, like
Yeah.
celebrating
Crazy,
with champagne
bud.
all the time.
Country boys.
Let's go
I'm
crazy.
just doing a taste, just a taste.
Sean's on
More of a taste than
antibiotics.
that. Okay.
Sean's not allowed to have
hey, you know,
Antibiotics,
champagne Shane
he
can't
can't.
resist some bubbly. here.
Champagne chain can't have some
yeah,
Smells
champagne.
delicious.
Well,
But guess who
cheers.
didn't
Cheers to
spill your
Country
this
Boys.
episode?
We're rich. We live in Monaco
baby.
now.
Keyword.
We live in Monaco.
Monaco.
Hey, cheers, cheers.
It's pretty good being on top.
Yeah,
Yeah, it is.
Country Boy Island.
Of this apartment complex.
Hey,
No,
Which
we're-
is the second floor.
Oh,
yeah.
don't worry. We'll be on our way in
Ooh,
the
I
jet
like the
skis to
aftertaste.
Monaco here.
Yeah.
soon.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's
that's
some
where it
classy
gets-
shit, man.
What is this, a 2005 Charlemagne?
Very rare vintage.
Yeah.
Reserve.
So one of the activities, kind of one of the main things that they're known for here is their Formula One race.
Right.
I feel like,
Big one.
Takes
Even
up
just-
half the country, the track.
yeah, it really is like most of the country that you're racing through. But I don't know, I'm like a casual Formula One fan, but I feel like that's always, when you think of Formula One, it's like,
Yeah.
The
oh,
Monaco
the
GP.
Grand Prix.
Yeah, yeah.
Grand
Right.
Prix. It actually started in 1929.
Shit.
But it's been more or less the same track since 1950, with a few
Right.
small revisions as they've
Right,
kind
right.
of grown and everything. But it's one of the few races that's in the city. Like, it's not its own standalone track, so it's actually going through the streets in the city. It's one of the shortest races, but it's the only Grand Prix that does. I guess they have a minimum, so every Grand Prix is at least 305 kilometers or 190 miles.
Mm-hmm.
This one's like 160 or something, so
Super short.
they give it a pass.
There's a lot of turns. It does take a while. It still takes a while. It's a long race.
But they do have the most laps. So most of the time it's like 50, 60 laps. This one's 78. So
Yeah.
it's shorter,
You have to go through it more times.
but you have to do it more times.
yeah.
What's the total? Did you get the racetrack total? One.
Yeah, so the one lap's about 2 miles. So 3.3 kilometers, about 2 miles. You got to do it
Not-
78
that's-
times.
That's like the whole city. That's
Yeah, and being such a
a lot of
small space, you're just
Yeah,
kind of like
yeah.
winding around.
Yeah.
right.
And it goes through all the main areas. So you go through the Hercules Bay. You go through there's like a tunnel that goes through there. You go up. The most famous point in the track, there's a hairpin turn. So the hairpin turn is the Grand Hotel hairpin. And it's a super, super sharp turn. But it's basically like whatever the hotel is, they've changed the name of this turn so many times because the hotel is always changing names. Now it's the Grand Hotel. So it's the Grand Hotel hairpin. But in the past, it was basically whoever was owning this hotel. So look, we could have a Best Western hairpin, could have a Super
Right
8
up our alley.
La Quinta,
hairpin,
man.
but La Quinta hairpin. One of these days, maybe.
Love it.
So it's also this turn is the slowest turn in F1.
Yeah,
So
you gotta-
it's at 30 miles an hour.
Yeah,
so
it's-
they'll go from like 200 down to 30.
Right.
And
Yeah. I played a lot of Gran Turismo.
I was
in my
gonna
day.
say
I
Gran
remember that.
Turismo. Hell yeah, you know
Is it
that.
Turismo or Turismo?
some other crazy things with this race, though. It takes 6 weeks just to get it all ready. So it's like a month and a half to get ready and about another 2 to 3 weeks just to tear it all down.
Wow.
But there's
wild.
like
Yeah.
33 kilometers of safety barriers, 20,000 square meters of wire, and they put up like 3,600 tires for barriers.
Damn.
So a lot goes into it. It's also the most demanding race as far as like gear changes. So 5,000 in one race, you're changing gears at least 5,000 times.
Holy shit.
Wow. That's nuts.
Yeah,
Which
it's a
like
lot of-
in
it's a lot of
an
turns.
hour and a half, 2 hours, like
banging gears.
you're just constantly switching.
Well, you mean changing gears?
Or yeah, on
That's
it.
true. They just push buttons. They don't have to push a clutch, so.
And surprisingly though, because it is super close to the sea, only 2 drivers have actually ended up in the water. And it was Alberto Ascari in 1955 and then
Dumbass.
Paul Hawkins in 1965. So it's been a while since we've seen somebody.
Yeah.
But
doubt that would happen
look,
again.
Skilled
fingers
drivers
crossed.
these days.
Hopefully, dude, how crazy would that be to see someone launched into the fucking ocean?
Which
watching
race
that?
driver would you like to see launch?
I love it.
I think any, honestly.
I would love
Let's
to
see how-
see.
as long as they're okay,
Just
just
the Australian dudes.
I would love to see
name,
NASCAR drivers get on that course and every single one of them fly.
yeah.
Have they never been? Have they never done it? NASCAR?
Usually it's a circle. Usually NASCAR is a
They
circle
drive in
track.
circles, man. They
Usually.
can't handle turns.
They did
They were at
NASCAR out
Coda.
at
Yeah, they had
Coda.
Coda last
NASCAR
week.
Coda
Yeah,
last week.
That's true. But generally it's
And they
a
do
circle
road
track.
races all the time.
I do think though,
Yeah, I
with-
don't know. You're my NASCAR authority friend. I'm not sure.
don't know.
with Monaco though, I don't think NASCAR has gone outside of like North
No, I don't
America.
think so either. I
But
don't know.
I think with Monaco,
Has there been similar race cars like the Le Mans or some shit?
I don't think they do like MotoGP or anything here too, because it takes so much to set up and like they have to close their whole country down. So
Yeah.
Right.
I think it's just like a once a year just for Formula One.
It's like their version of ACL Festival. You know,
Yeah.
something
Yeah,
on
South
there.
by.
So,
Yeah.
I guess we have a shit.
But it's also during that time, like if you watch it, there's just tons of yachts. Like it's crazy. You could just be in a yacht watching
from there.
almost the whole entire race from that bay.
Is that what they talk? And there's some like whole thing like yacht week or some shit like where everybody goes out and gets on yachts. And
They do have a yacht week, and it's
Is
I think
that
it's
in Monaco or is that somewhere else?
they have one in Monaco, but it's basically like a yacht like it's tied in with like a yacht showcase.
Okay.
But I think a lot of people just come in for that.
Right.
But
Like a boat show.
there's probably some overlap. But yeah, so the other thing with this race, Senna, who's like the famous Brazilian one, he's won the most times with 6.
That's
and
a
then McLaren's won the most with 15. But I feel like this race is so hard that even the best drivers like don't win it consistently. Like
No.
everybody always
Yeah.
wins.
Something
'Cause-
always fucked up happens.
Yeah.
yeah, it also has. I think it has the most safety cars per any track, and
Sounds about right too.
yeah,
First
it's
turn. Jeez, that first turn.
it's super hard to be consistent in this place because you can't really like overtake people because it's super narrow, super short. So if you get a good lead, you can kind of
How does that like that hairpin like the hairpin at Coda? Like the turn 1 is like that at Coda.
much sharper.
it's
Sharper
it's
than
super
that.
sharp and like where Coda you have a really wide track.
sure.
Like this, it's a tiny
road.
city.
Oh,
So
that's right.
It's like
yeah,
a regular road. Yeah.
and so yeah, it's like 40 to 30 miles an hour is what they're slowing down to. Where I think on Coda, I mean they're still doing that at like
60 or 70.
Yeah, at
probably,
least.
Yeah.
so it's super tight, but it's I think in all of Formula One races it's like the tightest turn.
yeah.
So turn 6,
Oof.
the soon to be Super 8 La Quinta hairpin.
Red Roof Inn.
Red roof in.
Are they around? Do they get consolidated?
I don't know, but
few.
All right, so that kind of wraps up the F1. One of the main things you're going to see and do when you go there, or one of the
If
main
you go
things
there,
if you're
yeah.
there at the right time. But
Right.
hey, you could be there when it's setting up or tearing down, which is a good chunk of the year. But the other things, they have a like ocean museum. That's a big thing. They have 6,000 species of sea creatures. If you're into
dope.
sea
That's
life.
impressive.
Aquariums.
I like
That's
that.
impressive. That's a good number.
like
It's not a.
I'm into
I don't
that.
think it's an aquarium, but it's like a
Preserve.
like they have them on in the museum, but
I was
it's
gonna
not.
say
I don't
how
think
much.
they're live.
How many of them can I eat?
That you got to go to McDonald's.
Skeletons of these
Sushi.
little fish.
Yeah, it's more of like a
history museum.
preserving
An actual-
ocean
Yeah.
ocean man. I don't know, creatures,
Or
whatever.
some shit.
They do have one beach, so apparently it gets pretty crowded,
about right.
and a lot of the beach is private. So maybe if you're lucky, you can go to the beach. They have a lot of like hiking trails and kind of, I don't know, green space around the city you can do.
Cool.
What's the weather like there?
It's
Nice.
pretty nice,
Yeah.
pretty ideal. So I think it's like,
Probably like Barcelona.
Oh, I love Barcelona.
yeah, I don't think it's warm, so probably a little cooler, but pretty mild. I think it's generally cool.
Yeah.
Like,
I feel like the best,
Mediterranean.
probably the best weather in France is that area.
yeah, I would imagine
Most
it's probably the most ideal weather you can imagine. If you have a lot of billionaires there, they're not going to put up with
bullshit.
some fucking bullshit rain or sleet, dude.
They hate rich people hate inconveniences. You know.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to get your shoes dirty, so. So that's some of the main things. The other thing that they have is they have like a Champions Promenade or Promenade, whatever,
That's where I live.
which is it's like the Hollywood
Runners-up
Walk
Promenade.
of Fame, but
Oh, okay.
it's got soccer players. Like whoever I guess won the Balloon d'Or, they put their
Oh, no shit.
feet on this
In Monaco?
walkway. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So the Champions Promenade, that's something else you could do. But yeah, I think if you're there, you're going to the casino, you're trying to sneak your way onto a yacht via jet ski or whatever, or maybe watching the F1 race. So
Scuba.
I don't think you can actually scuba.
No scuba?
Do some
No
James
scuba.
Bond shit to
No,
get
but
on.
that's how we're getting in.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Jet ski.
If we
and
can't pull the
scuba.
jet ski, we're all just gonna scuba in there and show up.
Yeah, we're gonna have rubber face masks. We're gonna take it off.
That's Mission Impossible.
Well, we're gonna have to use borrow for a lot of shit to make this plan work. Okay?
MI5.
Yeah, MI5.
Michigan,
All right.
Michigan
That
5.
So what do y'all think?
I mean,
We going?
Oh, for sure.
yeah.
All right, one vote.
I'm gonna
All
fake
right.
my way
So
around.
Champagne Chain is.
I'm in. 100%.
I feel like with the name Champagne Shane, if you're there and we're like, do you know who this is? This is Champagne Shane. Once you're there, you could flourish.
I think so too.
Wouldn't take much.
Let's go, guys. Let's do it.
I agree.
We're going.
All right.
Jason.
Well, we don't know.
We don't-
Yeah, I'm definitely fucking going to Monaco. It checks a
Knew
lot
it.
of boxes
Knew it.
for me.
Nobody ain't going there.
Like, yeah, I don't know. Maybe like worst case scenario, I get a Monacan pregnant, you know, and she makes pretty good money, and we do okay.
Yeah.
No, she's gonna do okay. She's gonna send you back to America.
No, no.
And raise the kid on her own.
Well, she's
And
broke.
still-
She'll send you child
And
support.
still,
to not be
she's
involved.
still gonna charge you child support while she's there.
Fuck that. Send me euros.
She basically got you pregnant, Jason.
Yeah.
Well, however it goes down, the child will be beautiful and rich.
That's all you can
Okay.
ask for.
That's all I can ask for.
Yeah. I don't know. I gotta think about it, man. It's some ups and downs there. No taxes
if you live there.
if I live there.
If you're
for
visiting,
visiting-
If I'm visiting.
visiting.
I think if
Yeah.
you're visiting, you're paying a pretty high tax on everything.
Very expensive, but if I'm going with Matt. He's gonna pay for everything, obviously.
Yeah, man, I got the
flush.
money.
He's got it.
Clearly.
I'm a yes. Yeah, I'm down. I'm
Yeah,
going.
let's go.
Yeah,
We're in. How about
give me
you
the
guys?
F1. Give me the food. Give me all of it. Yeah.
I mean, I've got the boat shoes. I've got a boat.
Yeah.
Clearly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We just need hose
A John
Clearly.
boat.
and row.
Yeah.
Came in here on a dinghy. Where can I get
Wooden
a?
paddles.
Show up in a
Not
bass
that
boat.
expensive rubber.
I feel like
shit.
the country boys need to go there and do that trade up thing. You know, like you start with a paperclip and you end up with a yacht. Like we have to go there. Like that's where you need to start the stupid fucking trading game. It's like start somewhere where there's a lot of rich people. And
How long we
yachts.
got?
Yeah.
I don't know. What's our budget?
That's gonna take us.
So-
some time.
Oh, we're gonna spend
At least
all
to
of them.
enter there, it's like you can enter freely. If you're in France, you can get a passport stamp, but it's like a novelty thing that people
Right,
do just to
right.
be like,
Just
oh, I
get
got
it and leave.
But like,
So just flying in.
if you take a bus in, they're not stamping your passport or anything. So
I've heard you should be careful with that because like they're like it's actually an official government document. I don't know. You know what I mean? They're like, oh, I want a stamp. People are like, oh, you're actually fucking up your passport.
Yeah, yeah.
Because it's like you're going to these like non-real countries and they're like actually stamping an official document.
I mean,
they
that's
won't
a real
stamp an
country.
official passport. You
Oh, I
get
know, but-
a fake one, and they'll stamp your
Oh,
fake
okay.
passport.
Oh.
Sorry, it was not right. It was pretty. Just
Wait,
So-
but if you go there, you can't get your passport stamped, even if
Not
you're
your
like,
real one, just
Yeah.
because it's like
not a real.
You can't. It's like
Ah.
you don't own your passport. The government does.
you get it as like a novelty thing on a fake one to be like, I got this. Like you can get a stamp, but it's not
Okay.
on your actual one.
Got it. Got it.
Apparently.
So Matt,
I'll let-
you're going.
I mean, I think I'm down.
Okay, you seem like you're down.
I mean, it seems. I mean,
Yeah, you're in Monaco so much.
If you can
Look at
afford it.
you,
Monaco Matt.
Yeah,
You are Monaco,
that's
Matt.
that's where
Monaco,
I'm.
Matt.
I'm on the
Monaco, Matt.
on
That's
the
way
fence.
cooler.
It seems awesome. It seems great, but it's also, I don't know, being around that level of
Opulence.
You'd have to have some
luxury
sort of an
and
in.
stuff. It's like
You'd have to have.
I
an
feel
in.
like I'd go there for the day. Say I went there,
I mean, maybe yeah. if
like
you're one of
walk
those-
around and be like, oh, okay, but
Yeah. If you're like one of those check it off your list, you know, going to every country.
I'm not
in the
going out of
world
my
kind
way to
thing
go
or
here.
whatever. Yeah, sure. Like go check it off your list. If you have an in, like if you know somebody that's like, all right, man, I'm gonna take you to the party at the F1 race, and we're gonna go out on. We know somebody
Matt.
that has a yacht. And
Matt.
blah blah blah.
Like Matt.
Yeah.
Matt knows all the
Like me.
yachties.
If you
And
had
we're
a-
going,
if you had like a
bro, I told you to pack your bag like a week ago.
if you had like a rich friend who was like, hey, we can do this, I'm sure it's amazing. But just going there to like
Yeah.
check it out, yeah, I would see it. I'd go there, but
Sure.
again, it's I feel like even Las Vegas, going into a nice casino, it's just like I just feel out of place. Where you're like, dude,
Sure.
I shouldn't be in. I feel like in Monaco it'd be like times 10. Just walking around, I'm like, dude, I shouldn't be here.
That's why we just get lit.
Well, yeah.
Fun.
And then you don't
Fake
care.
it until you make it,
Yeah.
man. Yeah.
These
Yes,
pants
I
are
would go there,
linen.
but I would just feel weird even walking around
Indonesia.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just that kind of like, even
Probably.
like, apparently how Singapore
Dude,
is.
it's all in your head, man.
I don't know.
No.
I would wanna
It's
go
not
there,
very
but-
bad. People are really like that.
it's
man.
all in their
They-
wallet.
It's just this type of wealth where you're like, dude, what? Like,
Trust me. I know.
Yeah.
I don't know. It would be weird, but
But they're also
I'm in.
miserable and on pills, so you need to remember
Yeah.
that.
I feel
Yeah.
like we were all being,
Classy.
fantastical and like, yeah, we're all gonna go there and party. And Jeff was the only one who was being like, you know what?
I don't like the way these rich people make
I
me
like
feel.
the cut of these people's.
I'm just
jib.
saying,
Like, I
look,
just
you can
wouldn't-
get a nice view
Yeah.
a couple miles down the road. You could go to
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah, I've heard
Yeah.
it's amazing.
But I am in. So I'm not saying no. I'm just
Okay,
saying
Jeff's
Yeah, I'm
going.
kind of like that.
Hey,
Matt's
it'd be
going.
weird.
Yeah.
But
CountryBoyz
I'm
are
in.
all going.
Oh, it would
We're
be weird,
going.
absolutely.
You
We're
hear
gonna bring
that,
some
Sean
big
Connery?
knives.
All right. So
No.
we have another unanimous episode. So we got to put this one
Yeah,
for our next
right.
best of. This
In the
one's gonna
books.
gotta
Next 20.
Yeah.
go up on the top of the
Cheers
list.
to
But
Monaco.
Cheers to Monica.
yeah.
Ja Rule, Monica.
All right. So after
When you watch
this,
it, you'll get it.
where next? I feel like we have to go back to Africa because still got a lot. So-
Where,
Liberia?
where haven't we done in
Liberia,
Uh,
Ghana.
What are we
well,
missing?
we still have some smaller countries. So Sao Tome and Principe or Principe.
Yeah.
I like Principe. Paper.
Maybe we'll go there. But
Sounds cool.
It's where Prince is
do
from,
it.
right?
maybe we'll
Soda.
next time we'll do Sao Tome and Principe or Principe. However you say it, but
We'll
we'll
figure that out.
learn once we do the
We're
research
gonna educate you
for the
once
next
we're
one.
less ignorant.
So we'll see you on the next episode.
Adios.
Country boys out.